If you keep giving back green days, it's not because you're weak. It's because your brain falls into a predictable loop the moment you see profit on the screen. Today, I'll show you the loop and the exact protocol to break it in real time. By the end, you'll have a simple system you can use before your next session. So, one more trade stops being a trap and starts being a choice. This is for you if you've ever been up, felt proud, felt calm, and then somehow ended the day flat or red. Or if you have a plan that works on paper, but in the moment you drift into extra trades you didn't need. You and I are going to cover 3 things: what's actually happening in your brain when the one more trade urge hits, the rules that stop it, simple and measurable, and a quick AI journaling setup that helps you spot your triggers faster without letting AI trade for you. Here's the moment it usually starts. You're green. Not crazy green, just solid. You tell yourself you'll protect it. You'll stay disciplined. You'll stop soon. Then you see one more setup that looks almost perfect, or you feel that quiet itch that says, I can do more today. You tell yourself the most dangerous sentence in trading. One more trade. Your body feels it before your mind admits it. A little rush, a little tunnel vision, a little faster scanning, a tiny shift from patient to hungry. Then you do something small but meaningful. You loosen your filter. You accept a B setup that you would normally skip. You enter a bit earlier. You size a bit bigger. You manage the trade tighter because you're trying to protect the green. Then the market does what markets do. It breathes. It pulls back. It chops. You take a loss. And now you're not just down money. You're down mood. Green day to emotional day in minutes. That's the trap. In a moment, I'll show you the exact decision point where this becomes optional, not automatic, because there is a fork in the road that most traders miss. Let's name the mechanism so you can catch it while it's happening, not after. I call this the one more loop. It has 4 parts that repeat in the same order. First comes the trigger. You're green, or you just took a small loss after being green, or you missed a movie and feel behind. Then comes the story you attach. I'm in the zone. I should press. I can't stop now. I deserve more. Or the darker version. I can't end like this. I need to get it back. Then comes the impulse. Urgency, scanning, impatience, the physical need to click. And then the action. You break the rule that normally protects your day. Be honest. What's your most common trigger for the one more trade trap? Being up and feeling invincible, taking a small loss after being up, or boredom and chop? Comment one word. Here's the painful part. The one more loop feels like ambition. It feels like work ethic. It feels like confidence. But many times it's just emotion trying to extend a feeling. Either the feeling of being smart or the feeling of not being wrong. And when emotions are driving, your standards quietly drop. Now a quick myth bust. Most traders try to fix this with motivation. I just need discipline. I just need to be stronger. But discipline fails when your nervous system is overloaded. When you're excited, your brain doesn't want to stop. When you're frustrated, your brain doesn't want to sit with the discomfort. You don't need hype. You need a protocol. This matters because the default outcome for many retail traders is not great. Broker risk disclosures under ESME-style rules often show that a large majority of retail CFD accounts lose money, commonly around 3/4 or more. That's not because the market is impossible. It's because people keep letting small state shifts decide big actions. So let's build the protocol that stops the one more loop before it eats your day. I call it the green lock protocol because it locks your behavior when your emotions want to roam. It's designed to be used when you're up, when you're excited, and especially when you take the first loss after being up. The first part is a state change. When you notice the urge to take one more trade, or when you take a loss after being green, you go hands off for 10 seconds. Literally remove your hand from the mouse or phone. Stand up. One slow exhale, longer out than in. Sit back down. That is not motivation. That is an interrupt. Micro summary. You change the body before you negotiate with the mind. The second part is a one-sentence truth that returns you to process. Say it the same way every time, so it becomes automatic. My job is to execute clean trades, not to maximize today. If you want a sharper version, My job is to protect my process, not protect my feelings, because that's the real battle. When you're green, you start trying to protect the emotional high. When you give back a chunk, you start trying to repair the emotional hit. Both create extra trades. Micro summary. Interrupt, then truth. The third part is the hard constraint that makes relapse difficult. This is where traders either level up or stay stuck, because constraints feel annoying, and annoyance is exactly what keeps you safe. Choose one constraint and make it non-negotiable. After any trade that reduces your green day by a meaningful amount, you must either wait a set amount of time before taking another trade or reduce your next position size to a fraction of normal. The exact settings don't matter as much as the rule being objective. No exceptions. No, but this one is perfect. The point is simple. Your best trades don't need urgency. Your worst trades do. Micro summary. Interrupt, truth, constraint. Now the fourth part is requalification. You earn the next trade again, not with confidence, with criteria. Ask 3 questions slowly, as if you're reading them to someone else. Is my setup actually here, or am I forcing it because I'm up? Where is invalidation, the exact point that proves I'm wrong? Is my size appropriate for current volatility, or am I using size to chase a feeling? If any answer feels shaky, you don't trade. Not because you're scared, because you're precise. This is what professional behavior looks like. Pros don't treat being green as permission to loosen rules. They treat being green as something fragile that must be protected from their own excitement. Now let's talk about why this protocol works in beginner-friendly brain terms. When you're green, your brain gets rewarded. Reward changes behavior. It increases risk-taking and narrows focus toward repeating the reward. Then when you give back some profit, the brain feels a threat to that reward and tries to regain it quickly. And here's the key psychological point. Losses hurt more than equivalent gains feel good, a classic finding from Kahneman and Tversky's prospect theory. So giving back profit can feel like a loss even if you're still green. Your body reacts as if something is being taken away. So you chase to restore the feeling, not the money. Did you just recognize that in yourself? The need to feel back in control? Good. That means you can work with it. Now let's run a realistic walkthrough so this feels like a real day, not a motivational speech. You take a clean trade early. You're up. You follow rules. You feel calm. Then you see another setup that's okay, not perfect, but you're confident. You take it anyway. It chops, you scratch, no big deal. Then you see a breakout. You enter a little late. It snaps back. You take a loss. Now the loop tries to start. The story appears. I was up. I shouldn't be giving this back. The impulse appears. Find something now. The action wants to happen. One more trade to fix it. Old you clicks. New you runs the green lock protocol. Hands off for 10 seconds. Stand, exhale, sit. Truth sentence. Protect process, not feelings. Constraint, wait or reduce size. Requalify, set up real, invalidation clear, size appropriate. And now the day changes. Maybe you still take another trade, but it's earned, smaller, cleaner, and less emotional. Or maybe you don't take it, and you keep most of your green day, which is a win that compounds. The goal isn't to feel calm. The goal is to behave like a pro while you feel it. Now the 10% AI coach segment. This is not AI predicting price. This is AI as a mirror, so you see your patterns faster, because your memory is biased by emotion and outcomes. You keep a tiny log for your last set of trades. Setup type. Rule followed, yes or no. Emotion intensity on a simple scale. Sleep or stress level. Time of day. Result in R. Then you paste that into an AI tool and ask it to summarize patterns in plain language. Identify the triggers that most often lead to rule breaking. Suggest short if-then rules I can execute in seconds. Create a short post-session debrief that forces honesty without being dramatic. The point is not that AI is always right. The point is that it helps you see repetition quickly. For example, AI might notice that your rule breaks spike after your first red trade on a green day, or that you take lower quality setups after a win, or that your worst losses happen when emotion intensity is high and you keep trading anyway. That's gold, because now you're not guessing. you're designing. You turn it into rules that protect you. If I'm green and I feel the urge to press, I must requalify with strict criteria. If I give back a chunk, I must wait or reduce size. If my emotion intensity is high, I switch to observation or stop. AI doesn't trade for you. It helps you stop lying to yourself. Now let's tighten the common mistakes that keep traders stuck in this trap. Mistake 1 is vague rules. I'll be disciplined today. Your emotions will reinterpret that in real time. Fix it by making the rules measurable. Hands off, time wait, size reduction, requalification questions. Mistake 2 is treating a green day like you earned looseness. Green days are when your guard drops. Fix it by treating green like something you protect, not something you gamble with. Mistake 3 is trying to finish strong when you're tired. Fatigue makes the loop stronger. Fix it by defining a session end condition that has nothing to do with pride. Mistake 4 is letting one good recovery trade justify the habit. Sometimes you revenge trade and it works, and that teaches your brain the worst lesson. It teaches you the loop is profitable. Fix it by judging yourself on rule following, not outcome. If this is hitting, comment your biggest leak on green days. Pressing, boredom, FOMO, or trying to repair a drawdown. Now here's your implementation challenge for the next few sessions. Pick one trigger that ruins your green days. The urge to press when you're up, the anger after giving back profit, or boredom when things slow down. Use the green lock protocol exactly once per session, even if you think you don't need it, especially if you think you don't need it. Track only 2 things. Rule followed, yes or no. Emotion intensity, that's it. 2 signals. Then comment this. My trigger is this. My rule will be this. When you write it, it becomes real, and other traders learn from it too. Now let's recap in a way you can remember mid-session. You're not broken. You're running a loop. Trigger, story, impulse, action. The one more trade trap is not about discipline. It's about state. Being green changes your brain. Giving back profit changes your brain. And if you don't have a protocol, your brain will try to solve feelings with trades. The fix is simple and measurable. Change state. Say the truth sentence. Apply the constraint. Requalify the setup. Interrupt. Truth. Constraint. Requalify. Then use AI as a journaling coach to spot your trigger patterns faster and turn them into if. Then rules you can execute in seconds. Here's the identity shift that ends the trap. You stop being a trader who tries to maximize today. You become a trader who protects tomorrow. Green days are not for proving you're unstoppable. Green days are for proving you're stable. Subscribe to Mind for Trade. If you want trading psychology systems you can apply the same day. Plus the AI coach segment to catch your patterns faster without outsourcing your thinking. Hit like if you want the next video to cover the other side of this chain. How traders cut winners early because they're afraid to lose the green. Next, watch the video about stopping after your best trade of the day, because if one more trade is how you give profits back, that video shows you how to lock in the habit that keeps profits yours.